A 20-year veteran of the Border Patrol and current president of the National Border Patrol Council, Brandon Judd. Okay, Brandon, you heard my discussion with Ali. Was there anything he said that was inaccurate or that you'd like to address, being, having all that experience down there on the border?
Yeah, there's a couple things. When he says that the vast majority of the drugs come across the ports of entry, that's not true. In fact, the Border Patrol seizes more drugs than any other agency minus the Coast Guard in the entire United States. Most of the drugs are coming across the border between the ports of entry, not through the ports of entry. I was a canine handler, and I can tell you how many pounds of drugs that I used to seize with my canine all the time. It's happening all the time. So we do have
to. And a lot of that's heroin now, is what our research is showing.
It is. It's heroin. It's the opioid bases. It's what's killing all these people in the United States. So we have to secure the border, and I have to applaud President Trump for putting the National Guard on the border, because that allows us to go after what the actual problem is, which are the criminal cartels. Their profits are based upon getting things through the border, which includes humans, it includes narcotics, it includes, if you will, even fake Oakleys. They have to get their products across the border, and so if we secure the border...
Yeah, we got to crack down on the fake Oakley market. You're right, and I said that to Ali. Every time a migrant wants to cross the border, he has to pay a coyote, and then the coyote pays the cartel. Whether it's a human, whether it's heroin, whatever goes along that border, the cartel's making a profit. And they get a chunk of everything that goes across. So if you're going to shut down the illegal immigration, what that's going to do is that's going to take a chunk out of the profit of the cartel, and that's going to diminish their power, and that's going to allow the Mexican government to exert more power over them.
Well, so if you look at it, so you have to look at the ways that we can, in fact, secure the border. And what Ali said is we need infrastructure, technical infrastructure. We tried that before. We tried SBI Net. It was an absolute and complete failure. But what we have seen is physical barriers.
What was that was tried that you said? What was that?
It was called SBI Net. And that was supposed to be all of these radars that were supposed to detect things that come across, that were supposed to put us in on it, and it didn't work. But what has worked is physical barriers. So if we put the proper physical barriers in the proper locations, which allows the Border Patrol, me, to dictate where the smugglers bring in their products, I'll be a lot more successful. We'll be able to put a dent in their profits and hopefully put them out of business.
So you're going to be able to kind of funnel the cross-border traffic where you want it to be strategically based on where you put the fencing. Obviously, you're not going to put a fence on the Rio Grande or over a mountaintop, but at the same time, you know the patterns better than anybody. Yep. So you're going to funnel it to your advantage. That makes perfect sense. Last question. Do you get the sense that people don't want the wall because they know the wall works?
Yes, what you want, you see the left politicizing this issue all the time. We want to stop talking about this issue. We don't want this to be a 2020 debate. We want to once and for all secure the border so that we don't have to continue to sit here and say, well, we need this or we need that. We know what we need. Give us what we need. Let's get the Republicans behind this president. Give him what he needs. We will secure the border, and it's over.
It's funny, the Democrats want to fund every part of the government except the military and the Border Patrol, the two agencies that need the most money and need it the most out of everybody. I don't understand it. And you're called a racist probably because you want to secure the southern border. What do you say to those people?
Well, that presupposes that the only people that we arrest at the border are coming from Mexico or South America, and that is completely and totally untrue. I have personally arrested people from Russia, from Poland, from all over the Ukraine. So we arrest people from everywhere. It's not
Wait a
racist.
second. This is breaking news. This is breaking news. You're telling me that if the Russians are coming across the southern border, I just figured out a way to get the Democrats to want to fund the wall. I mean, they want the Mexicans coming over and the Central Americans. You tell those Democrats the Russians are coming and they're going to start tweeting mean things about Hillary, they're going to build the wall themselves.
Well, remember, Brandon, Russians and fake Oakleys.
I got to run. That's right. That's right. Up next, CNN collapsing, and we're going to tell you why.